स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. We are entering today into a new chapter, 28th chapter at the Star Theatre, Part 1. Friday, September 19th, 1884. It was Mahalaya, a sacred day of the Hindus, and the day of the new moon. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in his room with Mahendra Mukherjee, Priya Mukherjee, M. Baburam, Harish, Kishori and Latu. Some were sitting on the floor, some standing and others moving about. Hazra was sitting on the porch. Rakhar was still at Vrindavan with Balram. Mahalaya Amavasya. The next day begins the Navaratri. The 15 days of Mahalaya ends. Mahalaya meaning is the great dissolution, dissolve. Dissolve is not destruction. Usually, pralaya is translated into destruction, creation, sustenance, destruction. Most of the people, many people translated pralaya. We are common with the local language, pralaya, meaning something disappearing or something going away. A created thing is going. Now, trees, so many trees fall at a time when the storms come. Oh, it has become pralaya. Pralaya means it is gone away. Life has gone away But actual meaning and actually what it means is the laya, to get dissolved. Nothing in this creation can get destroyed. It is even energy. One type of energy can be converted into another type of energy. Matter is precipitation of energy. Energy can be converted into matter. Matter can be converted into energy. E is equal to mc square. So this law, whole universe, one thing is getting converted into another thing. When it goes back to its cause, we call it laya or pralaya. It has pra means specifically, greatly, and completely. Prefix pra is added, pralaya. Mahalaya, great dissolution, dissolve. The whole universe, entire universe, not only earth or this and that, but not parts of the whole, but the whole is going to dissolve like that. And a new era is going to come as if. When we see the nature, all the Hindu festivals are associated with the seasons, particular season of the year. Now you can see the Durga Puja coming up. All the fields are plowed, seeds are put, and germination is over. The small plants are coming up. You can see greenery everywhere. They are starting to yield. Crops are going to yield now. That kind of affluence everywhere. A joyful thing to see. Eyes get enjoying peace when they see vast fields filled with greenery. and some few men are working in the field, plucking away the weeds, allowing the water to flow into the field. What a beautiful sight. A few cows are tied, a few hens and cocks are moving about. It's a beautiful village atmosphere. So sun rising to sunset, varieties of things. Winter has set in just, and how beautiful it would be imagined. India doesn't, except in Himalayas, we don't have extreme cold or snowfall and all that. Everywhere it is comfortable. Everywhere, whole of India, both in the northern India, where extreme cold is there, up the Himalayas, from foot of the Himalayas to the southernmost part, up to Ceylon, you can say. In Indian context, Indian continent, it is up to Kanyakumari, the lowest point. Himalayas to Kanyakumari, everywhere it is pleasant atmosphere. You can move about anywhere. The winter, it is most comfortable. Even North India, the beginning of winter and ending of winter. But winter will never be something like Western countries where it is unbearable. If you cannot have warming system, you will find it very difficult to live unless we are born in that atmosphere and have gone accustomed through generations. So here everything is so pleasant, so beautiful. So the whole thing is the new era has begun, as if new civilization has begun. So it is called Mahalaya. The old one has dissolved on the Mahalaya day, and new dawn has appeared with Durga Puja beginning. Rakal was still in Vrindavan with Balram, master to the devotees. I was at Captain's house in Calcutta. It was very late when I returned. What a sweet nature Captain has. What devotion. He performs the aarti before the image. First he waves the lamp with 3 lights, then the lamp with 1 light, and at last he waves the burning camphor. When performing the worship, he does not speak. Once he mentioned to me to take my seat. During the worship, his eyes became swollen with spiritual emotion. They look as if they have been stung by wasps. He cannot sing, but he chants hymns beautifully. In his mother's presence, he sits on a lower level. She sits on a high stool. 2 things we see here is humility and ecstatic love of God. 2 important features of spiritual evolution in the humans. When they become more and more evolved, they become more and more humble. The ego dissolves. I am the doer, I am this, I am that all I dissolve. I will enjoy, I have earned, all this I will go away. The I is replaced by you. Anybody coming to their door is something the Lord God Himself has come. Such humility, as if He is servant of their servants. So much, with all, not something superimposed or external, not calculated. It is nature presenting itself. It is inner nature because of the evolution of the jiva. From the animalhood it has escaped. In animalhood, very strong ego. And In humans, it is mellowed, and still it continues with doership, enjoyership, and knowership. I know, I enjoy, I do. All this start dissolving from animal to human, from human to divine. As divinehood manifests, they become humble like blade of grass. A small blowing with mouth also, how it bends, you see. Just blow a grass, any part of the grass, just it lies down. So much of humility, so much of humbleness. So that is one of the signs you see in here in captain's life. The other, he is a captain. He is working in military, and look at his heart. And at the same time, how will he be able to handle the guns and kill anybody? But as a duty, he has to do. And how they will be doing the exactly opposite actions to their own nature as an humble offering to the nation, to protect dharma, righteousness, and to destroy the unrighteous by taking upon himself as an instrument of the Divine Mother. So here we see that extreme humility with all duty consciousness of doing duty as an offering unto the divine and love of the divine. Ecstatic love. While doing worship, his eyes used to shed tears to the extent it gets swollen, and then it will become like bitten by wasps. You can imagine how it will be. So that kind of emotion he used to have while worshipping Divine Mother. And in presence of his mother, he never used to sit above Mother. He would sit on a small stool below or on the floor, and she would be sitting, making his mother sit above, to give the highest platform to the mother and himself to the lowest. His father was a Havildar in the English army. He would hold a gun, his father, captain's father. He would hold the gun with one hand and with the other worship Shiva. How in the war field, how it would be to do the duty with the divine awareness and worshipping divine with one hand and looking at the enemies on the other, to suppress them, counterattack. Everything he is attending to, and with one worship he is doing, and with gun in the another. And with other worship Shiva. His servant made a clay image of Shiva for him. How that society was, you see. The servant is making his general servant at home, cleaning and washing, and he is making an image of Shiva. Whoever knew, whatever way a person could serve other, what a compatible living, harmonious living, joyful living, without just like we think of the caste system, Hindu caste system, it was not there. Caste, you see, what we have today, caste, between the labor class and the governing class or the management and servant. How that class is continuing, you see. A manager never wishes to sit with the servant and dine. They have their own dining hall, servants will have their own dining hall. So they don't sit together because a manager considers himself to be more superior than. But here in Hindu society it was not like that. Everyone was a friend. They would dine together, they would sit together, they would move together. But they maintain their dignity at all levels. They are like one family, each one working at different levels. One is according to their capacity, according to their capability, according to their knowledge and skill. They will have different activities. One is a teacher knowing the Vedas and Upanishads. Another is having a strong body who can fight in the war. And another is a servant somebody's house. He is uneducated, he is not able to do anything. Intellectually dull. He cannot teach, is not physically strong enough to go to the war. He will do whatever he can do to the society. So somebody's house he may be a servant. But one is in the same house, one is a Brahmin, one is a Kshatriya, one is a businessman, Vaishya, another is a servant. In one house you can see all the differences. They all live together as one. The work that they are doing, their nature, their capability doesn't clash because what was common was in mutual love. When love is there, each is giving his highest offering to the society. Now you see, in our body, leg is doing its work, brain is doing its work, hands are doing its work, senses are doing their own work. Now, there is no clash. The brain will never say, I am superior to the legs. He can never say, but each is contributing to the welfare of the same one body. So this was the caste system where each will do his work best of his ability. Leg is beautiful, it can walk miles and miles. Eyes can see every smallest to the largest thing. Each one is doing its duty. Brain is doing its duty. All are contributing, and all are nobody is. It is like a machine in which no screw or a nut you can take out. Whole thing is interdependent. If leg is not there, imagine, because it is the lowest and uncared for, you cannot be. Because it is absolutely as much necessary as the brain is. Senses are as much necessary, the arms are. Everything. But each is doing its duty without seeing I am superior and I am inferior. It is not there in nature. Man is cultivated and they see in their own society in a different picture and superimpose on the view that what they see in Hinduism. Of course, later period, after constant invasions, it lost its inner meaning and slowly it started turning into taking up everywhere we have been taking westernization. So Westerners, how they treat a servant as servant and themselves as kings, king and subject. They're different. In Hinduism, king and the subjects are not different. They are intimate children, more precious and greater than their own progeny. The whole country is childlike. He has to take care of every bit. His own body is that kingdom. He is king and kingdom is his body. He cannot neglect any part of the body. That was the thing. As we started inculcating other cultures, interculture, this one, then the deterioration began. Now it is extreme westernization is taking place, where no man belongs to any other. Each one is in his own search of enjoyments and possessions. Man has become again moving back to his animalhood. Law and order is there, peace is no more. So that is where we see again we have to go back to our roots, where from we came, how we lived, how we enjoyed. His father was Havildar in English army. He would hold a gun with his one hand and with the other worship Shiva. His servant made a clay image of Shiva for him. He would not even touch water before performing the worship, let alone taking food. If he has not done worship, till he finishes the worship, he will not take even water, drink water. Sometimes emergency, something may occur in his life that he has to attend to it. His worship is not possible, he will not take food. Whole day he is running about, he will not take food. After finishing the Shiva worship of his Lord, he takes food. He would not even touch water worship. He earned 6,000 rupees a year. 6,000 rupees a year. Captain sends his mother to Banaras now and then. 12 or 13 servants attend her there. It is very expensive. Captain knows the Vedanta, the Gita, Bhagavata by heart. Abba, imagine how it is possible that Vedanta, Upanishads, the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas, and Bhagavata, a huge text, very large text, Bhagavata, by heart, has learnt by heart, means without seeing the book he can chant. Of course, that was our tradition, Vedic times. All the Vedas, what we hear today, what we have now, apart from what is forgotten, what we are having is never because it was considered as most sacred and not to be put in letters and words on a paper or anything. So it was transmitted from generations to generations through mouth, hearing and learning by heart. Whole Vedas were on tongue and in brain. Now everything is there in the internet, and brain is empty, and that emptiness is filled with the enjoyments of the world. This is the vast difference which we call Kali Yuga. So we have to slowly emerge out of this whole thing like lotus coming out of the pond. Mud everywhere, dirt everywhere, water stored. From that, how the lotus emerges out from that and beautifully blooms in nature. So must be our spiritual life amidst all this chaos that is we see around us. He says that educated gentlemen of Calcutta follow the ways of Mlechas. Mlecha is a word used for non-Hindus, often with a sense of contempt. He is not a Hindu. He is not a cultured person. Because wherever we miss divinity and spirituality, it is considered as lowly. The whole world with all enjoyments is just like a thing that is to be shunned, not to be accepted, if divine awareness is not backing it. Wherever you see the divine, the spiritual, whether it is in life, whether it is in thoughts, whether in action or in feelings, wherever it is, if it is associated with divine, it is considered sacred. If it is not, they say it should be shunned without divine. Can you see divine in every object? Can you see divine in every being? Can you see the dissolve? It has your view of good and bad has dissolved or has got equanimity. Good is equal to bad. When it happens is when you see its source. Source, where is the source? Now, with clay, I make a man's image. With the same clay, I make a woman's image. Now, anybody asks, are they equal? They say no. Is a man's image, women's, how can it be equal? Because we are seeing the surface. But ask a potter who makes clay images, clay pots. You ask him, are they equal? He just sees and yes, they are equal. How do you see they are equal? Both are made up of clay. Content. What is the content? What is it made up of? What is source? Both are same clay. One is manifesting as to a pair of opposites. When you raise to that level of the source, you will see that you have climbed to the highest level of understanding. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.